Welcome to Beyond the Trailers coverage of the 2014 Academy Awards, giving you an in-depth look at the top categories, and then some. Now, these videos will not only help you to figure out who might win on the big night, Sunday, March 2nd, but to decide who you'd like to win. So be sure to cast your vote in Beyond the Trailers Oscar poll via the link in the video description. Now let's take a look at the first half of the 9 nominees for Best Picture.
American Hustle.
And to think, many of us laughed at American Hustle for playing it so close to the vest when it came to their initial ad campaign. Yet it was as if the movie was taking its own advice, where Irving Rosenfeld hooked his marks by at first refusing to tell them about a hot deal. The trailers didn't tell us what the movie was about, and neither did the posters. Instead, they sold the pedigree of the film. 5 actors at the top of their game in popularity, 4 of them reuniting with the director who was responsible for that very success. And hey, unlike Irving, David O. Russell is the real deal. For the second year in a row, after Silver Linings Playbook, his film has landed nominations in all 4 acting categories. And he won for Jennifer Lawrence last year, while back in 2010, Russell was able to win Oscars for Christian Bale and Melissa Leo for The Fighter. And this year, it seems all American Hustle does do is win. Golden Globes, Best Motion Picture Comedy or Musical, Best Actress Amy Adams, Best Supporting Actress Jennifer Lawrence. And the SAG Awards, they're equivalent for Best Picture. Suddenly, 12 Years a Slave doesn't seem like the lock it once did. While some could argue that American Hustle is perhaps a little too indulgent towards its actors, that turns out to have been a brilliant strategy, as actors are the largest voting bloc in the Academy. Audiences are heavily divided on American Hustle, though, and while the movie has cleared the century mark at the box office, the American Hustle 12 Years a Slave matchup, at least so far, is not drawing much attention to the Oscar race.
Captain Phillips.
The polite saying goes, it's just nice to be nominated. But for Captain Phillips, it's genuine. In fact, it's downright impressive that a film which made few critics' top 10 lists and wasn't a big part of the media's awards coverage has landed 6 Oscar nominations. Sure, it's unlikely to win any of them, and it still suffered major snubs with no nomination for star Tom Hanks or director Paul Greengrass. Yet it's a testament to the power of Oscar campaigns. Producer Scott Rudin has been able to prevail here just as Harvey Weinstein has with Philomena. The two are Oscar titans who most famously went head-to-head in 2010 with Weinstein's The King's Speech and Rudin's The Social Network. Harvey won with 4 wins, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor, to Scott's 3. In fact, while he often competes, Rudin rarely wins, having only taken the stage himself back in 2008 for No Country for Old Men. But still, again, that he even got an action film like Captain Phillips on the board is an impressive feat. Lone Survivor couldn't do it, and shows that Rudin still knows where to send the gift baskets. He also has had to overcome some controversial allegations from the actual crew of the Maersk, Alabama, who claimed the real-life Captain Phillips wanted to engage with pirates, ignoring warnings and protocol while putting the ship and crew in danger. That reminds us of another popular saying, at least in Hollywood, based on a true story.
Dallas Buyers Club.
By expanding the Best Picture category from 5 to anywhere up to 10, it can now seem like the Academy just has spots to fill. We just discussed Captain Phillips, and now here we have Dallas Buyers Club, a film that has garnered the most attention for 2 very impressive performances, Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto. In fact, with Golden Globe wins and SAG wins, at this point it's almost a lock they'll walk away with the gold on Oscar night. And McConaughey feels a little guilty about that, saying he wishes director Jean-Marc Vallée and the rest of those who made the movie were getting to share the spotlight as well. But you know what? They're not campaigning. Vallée opted out to shoot his next movie with Reese Witherspoon, Wild, while McConaughey has cleverly announced the only thing he's working on right now is supporting Dallas Buyers Club. Well, he and Leto have supported it so much they've powered the movie to 6 Oscar nominations. But does it deserve them? Some of you have asked me how exactly it's determined which film has the best editing or makeup, 2 categories in which Dallas Buyers Club is nominated. And perhaps the answer is it is hard to decide, so voters just vote for their favorites across the board, even when they don't truly deserve to be recognized across the board.
Gravity.
This year's Avatar, but then Avatar didn't win, at least in the top categories. And sure enough, industry pundits are predicting that Gravity is likely to sweep the technical categories, watch out summer blockbusters, yet things get a little trickier when it comes to its Best Director, Best Actress, and Best Picture nominations. Perhaps that's because Gravity itself is having a bit of an identity crisis. Is it just a landmark achievement in special effects storytelling, or does the script by Alfonso Cuarón and his son Jonas truly resonate? It wasn't able to pick up a screenplay nomination here, nor from the Golden Globes, nor the Writers Guild, yet promisingly it has earned a Best Actress nomination for Sandra Bullock, whereas Avatar didn't earn any acting nominations. The reason this is such an important question is that only a complete film has a chance of winning Best Picture, so as it continues with its Oscar campaign, Warner Brothers must convince Academy voters that Gravity is fully rounded. But also working against the space flick is that it's the highest grossing of the bunch, and the Academy is always reluctant to give the gold to those who already have the green.
Her.
Sadly, when Joaquin Phoenix was snubbed for a Best Actor nomination, that was pretty much all she wrote for Her, which ironically has its best shot at a win in the Best Original Screenplay category. Perhaps when he was casting Phoenix, writer-director Spike Jonze forgot that the Thesp had branded the Oscars bullshit when he was nominated last year for The Master. So if Phoenix can't deliver at the box office or award season, what exactly does he bring to a picture these days? Her made many critics' top 10 film lists, including mine, yet has inexplicably been sidelined for the major awards, for which it's a political game, complete with expensive campaigns. I wonder if, right now, Paul Thomas Anderson is sitting in the editing room for Inherent Vice, wondering, what's the point? And that's the first half of the 2014 Best Picture nominees. Which film do you think deserves the Oscar, or doesn't? Not only can you leave your comments down below, but don't forget to vote in Beyond the Trailer's Oscar poll. It closes on February 26th. There's even a write-in section for each category, in case you're out for artistic justice. I'm Grace Randolph, and I hope you'll check out the rest of BTT's Oscar coverage.